Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Tommy C. I do a show called In the Crease with Tommy C, the most politically incorrect hockey show that you'll ever fucking love. It's great. That's right. We say the world's like fuck, and we're going to be talking about the week in hockey and just about everything that went on with it, from the Toronto Maple Leafs to George Farros retiring to all sorts of other stuff. So if you're sick of mainstream media, you're sick of getting fucking feminist claptrap when you're just trying to find out a score, this is the place to be. This is In the Crease with Tommy C. Come on! What's happening, everybody? This is In the Crease with Tommy C. A little morning ice for you. Welcome. And I don't have my partners on the screen right now, but now I have them on the screen. Let's fix that up and make it look tight. None other than Devious Dave Rose and Chicago Dead on Dave. We're here to talk about the week in hockey and things of that nature and whatever's on our mind. I also like to report that the woman, and I don't think I should say her last name, but her name's Andrea. She goes by Andy, which is interesting. That's actually, my wife goes by Andy, and her name's like Andrea. The woman that kind of flipped out in the Paul McLean interview that we played yesterday. She actually contacted me and Dave out of nowhere, and she said I was on. She said she wanted to call in. I don't think she's gonna be able to do that today, but. I think we're going to definitely set something up where we definitely get this brilliant and beautiful and daring Canadian woman on this team of ours. We got to get this. These are my type of people. These are my type of lunatics. That's what I want. I want somebody to go, I fucking love him! Oh, my God! Yeah, and it was really just one of the great moments in hockey history. What are you guys doing? What are you up to, man?
Living life, doing things.
Living la vida loca, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Living the Vida Loca.
What the fuck?
I want to just go over a few things, and then, you guys can interject with any kind of hockey thing of the week because we don't have anything really planned.
Got nothing.
Yeah, well, there wasn't really a big story, so I couldn't get that fucking thumbnail in to sucker people in. So that's probably why I only have one viewer right now. George Farros, a New Jersey native. Yeah, I think, did we talk about this earlier in the week? George Farros, New Jersey native, actually went to Princeton. He retires. He calls it a career, and it's kind of sad because of enforcer. And one of the things they pointed out, I think to Dave earlier in the week, is he was an American enforcer.
Last week.
Most enforcers are Canadian because they go through the junior system. Farros was actually brought up through Princeton University and was going to be a power forward, but that didn't work out, so he stayed in the league by throwing down. So we give a big salute to the old-time hockey George Farros and wish him the best, but I'm sure that Princeton degree is going to keep things just fine for him. I hope they didn't punch the Princeton out of him. Any comments on George Farros?
He's a financial guy, right? He's a financial degree.
He's got a degree in economics. I don't know. I don't know where he's going.
He's going to Wall Street. Business.
Well, that'd be kind of funny, like the George Farros law firm, and then if you don't pay your bills, he just comes and beats your ass.
We'll go blow for your finances.
I'm from Princeton. Don't you owe me 3 points in a vig?
We'll check your portfolio into the boards.
The George Farros School of thing. Well, you guys got anything, Delicious Dave? Delicious Dave.
I can always talk about the fact that the Leafs won yesterday in a shootout with Detroit Red Wings.
They certainly did.
Tommy enjoyed that game. I did not.
I was entertained.
The Leafs, this is another gift win for them. Mm-hmm. I didn't see consistency with Reimer, and I'm just really, really pissed off, more so at the Detroit Red Wings, who should have won that game.
They did have opportunities, but I always thought that the Wings... I don't know. I just
and a shootout victory really pisses me off. That's probably why.
We're talking about two really hot teams here, though, guys. Two teams that are playing good hockey right now.
I do believe that you're. I'm totally on your team with the criticism. I am, and I think it's just you're so used to being disappointed when things go well, or right after things go well.
That's it. That's it right there. I'm just tired of being disappointed all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think they're that bad a hockey team. I suspect a culture problem in the locker room. We've mentioned that before. There's no way to prove that. It's just really subjective. Just like what I take. But Phil Kessel is one of the most dangerous goal scorers in the league. Nazem Kadri's playing a lot better of late. He's a player I really like.
Bozak's doing great. See,
what's never talked about?
Really
and I think I mentioned it slightly here in this war, and they have sort of although neither of them are half the goalies, they sort of have a Mike Richter Van Beesbroek situation over there. I think it's time to pick a fucking goalie.
You made that point the other day, yeah. And
I think it's time to pick a
switching them back and forth and not giving one the lead.
It doesn't work. It
seems like a lot of teams are doing that this year. I've noticed it because of fantasy hockey, but it seems like a lot of teams are doing that.
It's stupid. It doesn't work. It's been tried before. I even saw Roger Nielsen do it with the New York Rangers in the 1992 playoffs. Yeah. It didn't work.
Is there a minority of elite goaltenders right now in the league? It seems like
I don't even think. I think the goalie, except for a few guys I'm thinking off the top of my head who I will not call out, I think there's so little that separates the goalies in the NHL that it's just. I think it's hard for people that aren't coaches on the ground to see that. I think these guys are like. I know. I know that Jonathan Quick's probably one of the best goalies in the league. But I don't know if that much separates him from other goalies that are not as well known. For the simple reason that that's just how good they are. I think it's just if you're just at that level, if you just have a tiny edge, then you're like the best goalie in the league. So I don't think that's it. But flipping back to what I was saying before, Dave's. Actually, I have the Huff title over you. What a fucking dick. I shouldn't have done that. I really got to get my shit together. You know what I mean?
Get it together.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I can't even find the fucking thing. Oh, there it is. Bye. No, I don't feel as bad. I really think they have to choose a goalie. I think this sends a mixed message. I think it kills development. And if you're worried about, look, we have two talented goalie prospects. Well, you're right. Trade one. Pick one of these guys. Or give the other guy a current events class. With Jonathan.
That is something I know that you guys talked about during the week, but even now, it's been a few days. I'm pissed at that. It's just insulting, really. And I mean, granted, I see what you're saying, Tommy. You don't like it, and Dave said this too. You don't like it when they stuff the microphone in their face, and you want some sort of intellectual response.
Oh, we're talking about Bernay. That really bothers you, the Bernay.
I've actually gone the other way on this.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hear what Dave. I want to see what DV's Dave has to say about this because
please
that really bothered you, huh?
Yes, only because of the fact that, and I mean, Nelson Mandela. He's a figure in history. He's done a lot of different things. Some people don't agree with what he's done. Some people do. But the fact is, his name should be synonymous with apartheid and so forth, not with hockey. And have we really lost so much with these millennials? Have the millennials really just sunk to a point where they just don't give a fuck about anything other than themselves? Whatever happens outside their little bubble.
Me and Dave's got an opinion on this too, and then I'll let him go next because, well, I'm a mic hog. But
fuck.
Yeah, here was my opinion on it. I just don't care whether he cares or not. Now, do I think it's healthy to be, to know who Nelson Mandela is? I realize that I'm a lot older than Jonathan Bernier. Dave made the point yesterday that look, you're going to the damn, you're going to the event. At least Google it if you're so dopey. I mean, how could you go somewhere? Like, I can't imagine going anywhere. Like, my wife says to me, we're going to Iffen, Leaken, Hosen, Mosen. Well, what's that? Well, it's this. And then I look it up on the internet so I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I get there. There really is no excuse. At the same time, let's take a look at Jonathan Bernier. And I'm not going to insult his intellect. I'm just going to lay out what more than likely what his life was like. He was shown to be a hockey talent at a very young age in Quebec. I imagine he's Quebec because he talks like this. And English is his second language. Now, that's not the only excuse. And let's face it, those kids that go to the juniors, they don't go to school, and they're not educated. And that's something that Canada really is never really faced up to. That's not school. That's something else. That's about as close as the Russian system about snatching them away from your parents and sending them to a hockey camp as there is. And that is also one of the greatest reasons why Canada is the most dominant hockey force in the world, is because they have this junior system. But let's face it, to become great hockey players, and not too many, for all the people that go to the juniors, there's very few, or even regular NHL careers, they rob these children of an education. Now, I'm not making an opinion left or right about whether that's good. I understand that's what Canada does. That's up to Canada. But, I think with that, we take the good with the bad. Bernier is either not very bright, or he has never been told to open a book in his life. And I think that's what we got. That's why we got this hilarious comedy. I hope he learned from this, I would take a community college course if I were him, just to fucking get it straight.
I'm fucking boiling.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
This is look, man. I agree with you 100% on yes. These people are completely not. Education is not paramount when they're in the juniors.
No, really,
that's fine. However, he's not a kid no more. He's an adult.
Yeah.
Okay. And not only is he an adult, he's an adult in the most technologically advanced society in the fucking world, in the history of mankind. Technology's all around you. There's Google machines and fucking apps for every fucking thing. He went to a function that was based around Nelson Mandela. There's no more excuses to why he looked like an asshole. He might be stupid, but he can always fucking... Cliff notes are everywhere. You can there's no excuses. It's personal responsibility, and we have to stop making excuses about college students and same thing college students in America. Fucking these athletes, these entitled fucking athletes that fucking don't know anything, don't know they're committing crimes sometimes. Stop making excuses for these cocksuckers.
Yeah.
They need to
I don't know if I was
a
making
little bit of fucking
excuses.
personal responsibility.
I don't disagree with you, and I don't know that I'm making excuses.
We're booked at this location. It's about this. Be sure to not say this. Don't they have agents and stuff to tell them that?
At the very least, pay a guy to help you not look like a dickhead.
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, I'm not. Maybe I am making an excuse. Maybe I'm being too soft on him. And by the way, I'm going to be quite clear with everybody. He deserved exactly what he got from the media. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't expect much from him. I don't look to him as a hero.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we should expect a little bit more.
No, I'm
just
a big
tiny bit more.
I was the first guy. Remember when Charles Barkley put the video out where he said, "I'm not your role model"?
Yeah, well, Charles
I couldn't
Barkley's
agree with him
an
more,
asshole, too.
and I couldn't agree. He took a lot of heat for that, but over time, he's really looked a lot. I mean, I was in high school when that came out. It's really changed. Maybe these guys shouldn't be your hero. And actually, I kind of look up to Charles Barkley. What?
I agree with that. These people should not be role models. However, have a little bit of fucking personal pride. We're talking about two different issues.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about being a role model. I'm talking about have a little bit of fucking pride as a human being.
Yeah.
And don't go on camera and look like a fucking idiot.
Sure.
Charles Barkley's the biggest fucking hypocrite in the world because making that video, all he does is fucking comment on real world fucking shit now and tell people how to fucking live.
Well, no, it's not even that. He was like, don't hold me fucking accountable. To some kind of role. I am who I am. You can like me or not like me. That's the way I took that. I'm not a role model. I'm not here.
Dave's coming from though, because this is actually somewhat different. You've got one where if the players just finished the game, they're coming out of the locker room, they get a microphone stuck in their face. Point one.
Yeah.
But then there's the other point. I'm purposely going to this function of this person's name.
Yeah.
And that person's name should be evoking something into your head. Oh, maybe this is for them or in benefit of them.
Yeah. All right, look, I can't argue with you guys.
Two Daves got you.
I got daved.
I got daved, yes.
I got daved.
Double daved.
I got double daved. But all I'm trying to say is I guess I just don't expect from him, and I don't care if he's smart or not. He's obviously not smart. He proved it without a shadow of a doubt. He's getting everything. I'm not embarrassed. I don't think I'd be embarrassed if I was a Leaf. I don't think I would be. I don't know. I don't expect much from Jonathan Bernier.
There are a lot of
expect
Leaf
very
fans that
little
are
from
insulted.
him. What's that?
Yeah.
There are a lot of Leaf fans that are, in fact, insulted by that.
Who cares?
By his comments
This
on
guy's
how
got
it
every
reflects on the
advantage in
team.
the fucking world.
Fuck them.
He's got
I don't
money.
care about Leafs fans that are insulted back then. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different and weird. Like, who cares? You know, I don't care. I don't care what Leaf fans think, especially on this issue. I mean, it's not like he went and said there and yelled Zig Heil at the top of his fucking lungs. I think that I'd have a problem with that.
He wouldn't know what it means anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It'd been funny. And the other thing is, let's face it, we're talking about this series. It's so funny we're talking about this series. This was like the crux of Shot from the Point Live. It was just hysterical. I need stuff like that. You guys, I need stuff like that to happen. I lose my show. Nobody will listen. Other things in this week, agent denies that Austrian player for the Minnesota Wild, Thomas Vanek, one of the laziest hockey players going, is $10 million in gambling debt.
Yes! Oh. Fucking I love it.
Fucking Jesus, online poker's a bitch.
How fucking stupid can someone
Couldn't pull away from that table, could he?
Yeah.
Loves the ponies. Loves the ponies.
They're saying it's not true. They're saying it's not true.
Oh. Actually, let's talk about this. I want to hear Dave's point of view. Chicago's in first place.
I was waiting for the Hawks. I'm sitting here. I'm like, put me in, coach. Ready to talk about the Hawks?
You're in.
Oh yeah, here we go. Your Blackhawks are fucking amazing people, and you should be happy with the way they're playing. Let's look at their last 10, shall we? Because I'm going inside the numbers. It's the Dave Show now. 9-1, and their last 10, they won 7. How is that? They're 9-1 in their last 10. 9-1 in their last 10, but they've won 7 in a row.
Yep.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that can work.
Because of the shootouts.
That can work. But why are the Hawks so good? That's the question, right? Why are they playing fucking so well? Well, there's a few reasons as to why. Overtimes and shootouts. They were horse shit last year. In fact, they were one of the worst teams in the league at this time last year in overtimes and shootouts. This year, they're one of the best. They're off to 5-1 in those games, and that's a huge fucking statistic. It means they're winning games close and late. They're also in just overall 1-goal games. They're fucking winning these things. They didn't do it last year. This year, once again, they're in the top of the league in that fucking category. They're dominating in their division. These are things that you have to do. If you want to fucking win consistently, you have to dominate the competition you see most often. Goals against average. Top of the fucking league. Last year, middle of the pack. Number one, they're tied for this fucking league in that 1.96 goals against average. They're not giving up goals, and that's without fucking Crawford because he hurt his fucking foot at a Bieber concert. And most importantly, I think, because it's a special team skill, they are killing the penalty. They are killing.
You mentioned that you look at, I forget, you look at special teams in every sport as far as to determine what?
Because I feel it tells you the most about coaching. I feel it gives you the most insight when it comes to just pure coaching ability and what you're going to see. It's those things that don't always seem to come up in the box scores. But if you look at the game, these things really fucking matter. Yeah. And when you're killing penalties and you're performing well on the opposite side on your power play, you're going to win more games. And that comes down to coaching and players buying into the programs that are being put into place.
Which is what we were talking about, me and
drop the mic and walk off stage.
But no, very good, very good. I think it's good. I don't think there's anything I could really add to this than the Blackhawks are who we thought they were, and they just kind of found it in the last 10 games or so.
And without Patrick Sharp, he's like just coming back.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But Chicago deep dish pizza is an abomination.
Oh, you stab yourself in the fucking eye with a goddamn maple leaf.
It's not as good as New York pizza. I got news for you.
Oh, both of you can eat my ass.
It's not. New York pizza is the best in the world.
New York pizza is the best in the world.
I'm watching a Wednesday Night Rivalry last night. Mike Babcock, who I've been probably more critical of than any other coach in the league, he got a big extension. I think that's a problem. I think they need to shake things up in there. They're they're like too good to kind of. I mean, yeah, they went to the Western Conference Final last year. Oh, wait a minute, no, they didn't. Did they? Wait a minute, who was the big? No, they didn't beat the Hawks last year. They
Hawks from the Western Conference.
They seem to be like floating into the playoffs, although they are leading now and they are looking a lot better. And that's why I'm kind of going to give the Leafs a little credit. I always got the feeling with the talent, maybe they need a new voice. Babcock's an amazing coach, but I get the feeling that he's just been there too long. I think this may bite the Detroit Red Wings, not this year, maybe not next year, but down the road when Pavel Datsyuk's not a young man anymore. When you see the older players really start to get to the end of their career and Babcock's still there, I do think this will actually bite them in the ass down the road because I don't think a coach should really be there more than anywhere to 5 to 7 years. I think you got to go after that.
Certainly not biting them right now. They're playing.
They're great.
They're playing
They're,
good fucking hockey.
They're absolutely great. I guess we have a caller. I wonder if it's going to be. Let me make sure that I don't expose the phone number like I fucking have a habit of doing. In the crease, Tommy C, you're on the air.
What's going on?
It's Roy from Florida.
Yes.
What do you got, Roy?
Did you see the temperature for Florida today?
No.
Why
In
would
fact,
we
I
fucking see
didn't.
Why would we?
41 degrees here. 41.
Well, why don't you get the skates out?
Was
Yeah.
that cold?
We're
Take your kid
freezing
ice
a
skate.
pond. We're freezing a pond in the backyard right now.
Yeah?
Gotta say it in Celsius so Dave Rose understands.
It's not going to help your Bruins.
I only understand Kelvin.
It's I'll kill them.
Tonight's the night. The Blackhawks and the Bruins. Dead on, Dave. Tell me what you think. Is it going to
You're
happen?
fucked. You're fucked. That's what I think. No, it should be a really good game.
Z's coming back tonight. That's a good point. Z's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a good
It
game.
should be a good game. I think, I got to go with the Hawks, but I think it's going to be a good game. These are two teams that seem to get up for each other when they play.
Well, and that's another thing too. Is like you're getting. I expect a bump from. I don't think it'll last, but I expect a bump from Boston tonight. I mean, like they're playing the Blackhawks. This is a team that beat them, and we're getting our captain back. And there may be a sense that we're going to take over the world. And who the hell knows? Maybe it'll lead to at least 5 game winning streak in a row, which they desperately need. This could give them a bump, but I got to be honest with you. I hate to disappoint all you Bruins fans. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's enough. I think the system they're playing is a little too finessey for the type of players they have. I don't think they're being used in a manner that's effective with the personnel that they have. Not to say that any of those guys are untalented in Boston.
Sure.
So, what do you think of that, Roy? You know what? I'm pulling for you tonight, Roy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck you. You're fucking Western Conference. You guys won like 2 Stanley Cups in the last 3. Come on. I got to go. There is kind of East Coast brethren thing over there. You know what I mean?
Oh, eat my ass.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Roy. Thanks for calling in.
Right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
brother.
I'm surprised that he's saying it's 40 degrees and it's cold. It's 23 degrees Fahrenheit up here in Canada.
Oh, jeez.
It's not that
not Bear
cold,
Mason
actually.
weather.
You American pussy.
No, Canada.
You don't care exactly. Yeah, hey. What else did I wanted to bring up? Boy, I'm about to
Oilers?
say. You guys want me to say something super controversial?
Yes, always.
You're smart?
No. Yeah. You want me to say something? This may piss some people off. What I'm about
Let's
to
do
say,
it. Fuck it.
especially in the Great White North.
Do it.
I'm getting a little sick of the Bellevue thing. I think it's getting to be too much.
Ooh.
I just.
What do you think's going to happen when Gretzky passes away?
Same fucking thing. Probably
yeah.
be
But
more
not
dangerous.
just in Canada, though. Exactly, more so.
Yeah, probably more
Gretzky
so.
spanned that divide between the States and Canada. Bellevue seems to be a solely unique Canadian thing, and that's why it's such a big deal,
Yeah.
and it looks overblown to you. But here in Canada, this is just like a regular, sort of affair with someone of that legendary status.
Look. I'm not insulting the man. I think I've done a lot of nice things about Bellevue.
It's been over a week that the news has continually talked about it, so I can understand it.
I mean, I got to be honest. You put this fucking guy on the ground already. I mean, Jesus. I mean, it's getting. I think it's getting macabre.
A little bit.
I think it's getting macabre. Now, I mean, look, I was in New York when Jeter was retiring, right? And God, he wasn't even dying. And you know what? By the time I got there, you would have thought that would have been like the happiest time of my life to be home next to my family. And Derek Jeter hits that single to bring him in just in Jeter fashion, the game-winning hit and what have you. But I got to be honest with you, I did identify with non-hockey or non-Yankee fans. It was getting to be too much, and I am getting this sort of. I see his wife and I see the chair. Oh, I love the chair. I think that's beautiful. I hope nobody ever sits in that chair again. If they do, they should be beaten to death. But I am getting a little frustrated. I don't know. Maybe I'm way out of. You know what? Maybe I'm totally out of fucking line here.
No, you know what? It's a personal opinion, and there's nothing wrong with having
I think
it.
maybe it's getting.
Well, the fact is it has been hitting the media for over a week, so it is saturating the news headlines and pushing other stories.
God, imagine
further
this
down.
happens to Gordie Howe. And I don't want to, you know what I really hate? I would hate for it to be like because I'm a bigger Gordie Howe fan. Yeah. And I'm going to be devastated when Gordie Howe dies.
That's going to be the same thing. We're going to have the exact same thing.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know. If anything, because the feeling that I'm getting, that it's starting to feel macabre, I think it takes away from his legacy a little bit. It makes him
I don't know about
a little
that.
less than human. You know
I don't know about that. There are certain athletes, and there's only been a few of them throughout the history of sporting news that get this type of response. Ted Williams was one. Muhammad Ali will be one. Lou Gehrig was one. There's just certain guys that tend, and he wasn't even a young man or an old man when he died. It just for whatever reason, there's certain athletes that elicit these emotional responses, and I let them play their course. I mean, fuck it. Who am I to stand in the way of that? But I completely understand getting a little burnt out by it. That makes sense to me.
I think that's it. I mean, I don't.
There's nothing wrong with saying that because I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I please don't mistake. And I can understand when somebody could either mistake what I'm saying or misunderstand what I'm saying or feel like that's
put him in the ground.
The same thing happened when Nelson Mandela died. It got to a point where the news was just saturated, and you get a little tired after once.
Yeah, he was one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yeah. I got. You get the line of the day. But it's that's a good point. I mean, Nelson Mandela's thing. I mean, obviously, I think he's a great man too. But it started to become a bit of a fucking circus. I mean, you had Obama taking selfies with the Dutch royalty, and that looked ridiculous. And his wife,
sign language guy.
The sign language guy was the greatest thing that ever happened in the modern. It was. I put the. I don't know. What's better, sign language guy that was just making hand signals. Like he was bringing down an airplane, or Jonathan Bernier, not knowing where the fuck he was. I don't even know. It's like, and it became a circus at the end, and I think I thought it was kind of fucking disgraceful. I thought the whole thing was fucking disgraceful.
I think it all depends on the circumstances. I agree with you on the Mandela thing, though. That did get out of hand.
Speaking of disgraceful, do you want to talk about the Oilers, Tommy?
Yeah, I do have something here. It's like, Craig McTavish honestly believes there's nothing going wrong. I mean, is this a guy that's just trying to fucking hold on to his job or what?
Trying to hold together. He's trying to hold his team together.
It is disgraceful. I remember me and Jake Link, we did a bit last year, split up the Twins. We were talking about those Wonder Boys, and which aren't boys anymore, by the way. The Wonder Twins over in Vancouver. I think it's time to break this fucking team up. And God, you know what? Maybe rebuild.
Yeah.
This is, it would be sort of funny if we have like a New York Islander situation where we send Darius Kasparaitis, Zdeno Chara, Zygmunt Palffy, Matthew Schneider, Todd Bertuzzi, and then they all become stars. But it's obvious. It's obvious. Thanks, Mike Milbury.
Right.
Do you realize all those players are under Mike Milbury that I just named?
Jesus. It's not surprising.
Darius
this is a guy who responds to things by hitting somebody with a shoe.
Yeah, I guess. God, he sucks.
He sucks.
That was so funny that McKenzie called him out. So were the New York Islanders. They were happy to see you go too.
Sometimes you got to blow up a team. I mean, it's just how it is.
I wonder. It's definitely management's got to go, and I think
their rebuilding process, the way they're doing it, is not working.
Or you bring in Mike Keenan. I don't think Mike Keenan. You know what it is. I remember. You want to talk about the millennial stuff? I think we're going overtime because this is a damn good show. Unless you guys got to be somewhere.
I got another interview I got to do in a little while, but
how much time you got?
I got a half hour.
Oh, I don't think we're going to go that far. I was thinking about. Do you remember when Barry Melrose initially got hired by the Tampa Bay Lightning and he lasted 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I think it was Steve Stamkos' rookie year, and he's like, look, Stamkos has to earn a spot. He went in there, told these guys, what? A lot of them were veterans. They fired him in a week. And the reason they fired him was because, and the reason was given is like the hockey world had kind of passed him by. It had been almost 20 fucking years since he had coached the Los Angeles Kings. And of course, he went to the Stanley Cup final, and we got by Toronto, a very good Toronto team, and then he went to the Stanley Cup final and ended up losing to the Habs the last time there's been a Canadian Stanley Cup, to be honest with you. And they just ran him out there, and I just remember thinking, like, it was the players that ran him out there. He didn't want to start Stamkos right away. Stamkos is a baby, he didn't. He expected these guys to play a tighter form of defense, and he expected to be able to yell at them and not have them crying under management.
He was wrong.
That was the first sign, and then they just said, "Well, the game passed him by." I don't know if the game passed. Maybe the game did pass him by.
Go back to ESPN, buddy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. I don't know.
Get your hair greased, put it back in, and go to fucking ESPN.
It was like the most Mike Ditka moment that ever happened in when he went to New Orleans. Mike Ditka, and it was like
but he did. But Melrose didn't wear a fucking dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it's just like, wow, are these players just that? Holy crap.
Jason
man.
Johnson in the chat says never talk about the Leafs versus the Kings.
Never talk about the Leafs versus the Kings. That was one of the greatest fucking Eastern Conference. I don't think it was called the Eastern
Goddamn
Conference.
Gretzky high stick on Gilmore, to quote Jason Johnson.
Well, Gilmore's a tough guy. I don't remember the high stick. I always remember the
But goes to
McSorley
show you how much we love Gilmore.
The
here in
McSorley
Toronto.
Clark fight is the one that really that was the one that really jumped out at me. I thought that changed a lot of things. To really, Gretzky was a beast. I mean, he was so focused throughout the whole playoff. And that's when they were in the West too. Boy, how things are changing, guys. We're getting old, huh?
No, it's the world that's getting old. We're perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm fully in this conversation. I was not taking a call from my daughter.
What's up, Jason Johnson? We haven't heard from you from a little bit. Hope you're enjoying what's going on. And I think we had a really good week in broadcasting. I'm going to plug a couple things. If you want to see me and Joe Cronin get in a throwdown, bash-out fight, which might be maybe the most entertaining monetized this ever, I would check you go to Spectrum Gaming 617 and watch our great show monetize this. I don't think there's anything like it on the damn net. It's really special stuff.
I'm going to break my headphones in honor of it. I'll break my headphones in honor of it. I'll do that for you.
That's all we're giving you. But if you want to listen to that, a really sort of passionate topic that was really based on the whole thing was based on a mispost and misunderstanding.
It was great, though.
But you know what? I got a thick skin, and if that's what it takes to get, if a mispost and a misunderstanding, that's what it takes you to get spirit out of you and make great radio, then fucking it was wonderful.
I accidentally tag people all the time.
Yep. You can also check the Shot from the Point Productions channel. For all sorts of highlights and things of that nature. I hope you leave your comments and things below. I'm really beating the idea of doing a non-live Friday show. Fridays maybe my solo show. I'm thinking about extending things and do solo shows, like pre-uploaded shows. Where surprise.
You had a great show with Jeff the other day.
Yeah. And also
Jeff's coming up.
Yeah.
Man.
How do you guys want to work that? Like, do you want to? Which days do you want? Because I think it'd be a good time to give Jeff a little more mic time.
You can take one of my days. You can take Monday.
Well, Mondays aren't good for you pay-per-view. When should we have you?
I'll do Wednesday and I'll do the Thursday show with Dave.
Maybe I'll do Mondays with Jeff. So I'll do Mondays with Jeff, Tuesdays with Dave, and then Wednesday with you, and then we'll double up with you.
Yeah.
We'll double up with the Daves.
It'd be great if we could get
one of you get sick,
all three of us on Friday with Jeff.
What's
or
that?
On Thursday with Jeff.
I could do Thursday. Well, that gives Jeff 2 days, and you guys one apiece, though. I don't know if I want.
No, everybody will get 1 day, and then 1 day we all come on together. Everyone gets 2 days.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. We could put 3 people.
It mixes things up. Different
yeah,
opinions on different days that we throw down on a Thursday.
Well, another thing is Jeff can't do this long because this is basically because he's out of school. So let's get him as much mic time as possible.
I agree. I agree with that shit.
And because he's improved tremendously. Also, I also want to promote. If you go to Dave's channel. And you can check it out on my main page. I actually get interviewed. I don't know if you guys caught any of that. I really liked it when I did it. I like it even more now that that I was listening to it. It's probably I get real personal and I talk about the channel and growing up and sort of my views in the world without sort of shoving my politics down your throat. So I'm like really proud of that.
I'm proud of it. I think it's the best thing I've done yet.
Yeah.
As far as putting something together, I think it is the best episode of anything I have done on my channel. I'm really super proud of it.
Probably
and you were great.
Below.
I mean, it was something so different. And I think when people watch it, they're they're going to be blown away by how candid you are with it. And it's really good.
Yeah, I
and
lay
it's
down
not
my guard.
pretentious at all. I mean, like some of those interviews can come off really bad. Like, it's like me, but no, it didn't. It came off very real and honest. And I'm proud of you, man. You went to places I didn't know you could on an interview like that.
Thank you. So if you can't get enough of me and how wonderful I am, go over to Dave's and check out the Tommy C interview. And it is really good, and I think it's very introspective, and I think especially when I start talking about the willingness to humiliate, that's probably my most proudest moment of the whole thing. And you go see what that's about, and I'm serious, and it gets my insight on hockey and growing up, and like I said, I'm not shoving my politics down your throat, which I do try not to do here, but when politics come up in the hockey world, then you probably kind of see my views. So please check that out. Please check out Monetize This. You can hear my political views.
Yeah,
right
loudly.
after this. And I think it's really good. And Dave's really trying to become sort of a different type of YouTuber, and to interview kind of regular people with YouTube channels or created. I think it's a really great idea. They call it Crybaby's Corner.
Fuck you.
And we all talk
Creators Corner.
We all talk about when mommy spanked us too hard,
Yeah, basically.
No, but it's really good. It's a really great idea. I was told that I was quite candid with Dave. I thought it was I didn't think it was ever going to work. And it seems to be working. Oh, that or John Freeman Music.
He
talking about
showed
coming
you.
On. He really did. He really did. Look, when I'm beat, it's not this question of being beat. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just didn't. I was like, no, I don't think it's going to work. It's going to be too hard. It's going to be. But no, I think it's a real testament to Dave's creativity, and I think there's other places to go. And there's no reason I couldn't be interviewed again and take a whole different
Absolutely.
thing.
There's so much stuff that we didn't touch on. We didn't even touch on our personal war.
Yeah.
That could be an episode on its own.
Episode on its own. And then we'll figure. Oh yeah, I guess we could do that. But if you are a creator, I highly. If you are a creative person of some time, whether it's a guitar player, or a YouTube guy, or I don't know, you can do this.
You play tiddlywinks in a very interesting
you can do this
way.
with your arm. I'm about to do something that I guarantee no one's ever seen before. I can turn my hand 360 degrees. My arm. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. Here we go. See?
He realizes we can't see this.
I don't care if you can't see this. I'm kidding. It's funny. I was listening to one of my critics. I think his name's John. He called it "Shot from the Couch" Productions. All right, here it is. This is what I can do. I can turn my arm all the way around. See, 1, 2, and 3. 360 degrees, and that's how fast it is. That's not a trick.
I monetized this last night. They call it "shot from the cunt."
Shot from the cunt.
That's what Talvish calls it. Shot from the cunt.
Yeah, he's actually, when he's been angry with me before, he's said that before. What do you think, guys? Time to go?
I think we've beat this horse pretty well.
Yeah, I think we could, and I really enjoyed this show, and I always definitely enjoy doing the wrap up, and I might even do something tomorrow. I'm really starting to enjoy In the Crease with Tommy C. And make sure you check out the start of our broadcast week on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the most controversial hockey news program on the internet. Let's go to last night's games in the National Hockey League, and of course, there were only 2 hockey games in the National Hockey League. Of course, a very exciting games, Wednesday night rivalry. Toronto Maple Leafs over the Detroit Red Wings. Final in the shootout. Exciting game. Dave doesn't think it was played too well. They think they gave him a gift, but you know what? I liked it. The Edmonton Oilers, unsurprisingly, go down to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. 2-1 your final. That game was a snore. I couldn't even get through it. Let's go to tonight's in the National Hokey Dokey League. The Chicago Blackhawks at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time take off the Boston Bruins. Definitely a match. The return of Zdeno Chara. The Calgary Flames take on the Connor McDavid sweepstakes, also at 7 o'clock in Buffalo. The New Jersey Devils take on the Philadelphia Flyers, 2 teams that suck! They suck! And the Columbus Blue Jackets take on Ovi and the Washington Capitals, the Stanley Cup champions, at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time take on the Ottawa Senators, the Paul McLean less Ottawa Senator. I fucking love you! The Carolina Hurricanes take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The New York Islanders, and this will be a good matchup, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time take on the St. Louis Blues.
Like the way you said blues. That was
blues.
Kind of sexy.
Yeah, I say it in the blue. The blues. That's why they use a blue note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets takes on the Colorado Avalanche, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The still under the radar Nashville Predators take on the Arizona Coyotes. And the Minnesota North Stars take on the San Jose Sharks.
You said it, Tommy. You said it.
Yeah, I'm doing it from now on. Mighty Ducks, calling the teams what I want to call them. Good. and I, you know what, guys? I'm allowed to do that. I don't like that. I'm going to start calling it the Campbell and Wales Conference. None of this Eastern Conference bullshit. It's the Campbell and Wales Conference, the Wales Conference Final. I'm just going to do everything the way I want to do it. All right? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for being in the crease with Tommy C. Please check out all the other projects we're doing. Glad we could go overtime for you. And tomorrow, well, you'll see if I do it or not. Friday will be a special. We'll do a solo show. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.